Uh-oh, that's not good. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Hope everybody is having a better day than I am. So the other day I was driving the Landcruiser, and as soon as I pulled back into the driveway, I hear a little bit of sizzling, I smell the coolant smell, and I see a little bit of steam. And in my mind, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what could it be now? So after a little bit of investigative work underneath the hood and underneath the car, I find out the leak was caused by this guy right here. It's a little heater hose T that Toyota decided to put in. This part, there's supposed to be a part that goes into the other hose right there. But that piece broke off and hence was leaking coolant everywhere. Now, Toyota considers that piece a regular maintenance item, not a defective piece or anything like that, and it should be changed out every 90,000 miles or so. However, obviously, when you take your car in there, some of the techs forget, they don't do it, whatever. It's not the easiest thing to get to, I understand that, but it needs to be done. The last thing that you want is to be stuck on a trail somewhere, hundreds of miles away from civilization, where you can't get the part, you can't really repair it. I mean, JB Weld only goes so far. Now, I know this video is a little bit longer than the usual videos that I post on my channel, and that is because the location of these little heater hose tees are kind of hard to get to. They're tucked right in between the firewall and the back of the engine, and you do need a couple of special tools to get to them, which I will have listed in the description below, so make sure you go and check that out. And other than that, here we go. The Landcruiser that we're working on today is a 1999. However, this tutorial will apply whether you have a Landcruiser or a Lexus LX470 ranging from 1998 all the way up to 2006. The heater hose tee is right behind the engine in front of the firewall. As you can see in this part of the video, mine completely snapped in half, causing the coolant leak. First, you want to grab a pair of long needle nose pliers to take off the hose clamps. Initially, I did not take off the engine cover. However, you will need to gain access to the other heater hose tee. Next, grab your hose pliers. You will want to turn these guys a little bit and break them loose before you try to yank on them, since these guys have been on here for a very long time. Once they're loose, just pull them straight out. You can see the other side of the heater hose tee is still stuck inside the hose. The other side of the heater hose tee actually broke when I was trying to get the hose clamps off. That just shows you how brittle these guys are. Now, with both ends of the heater hose tee broken off, I really couldn't get a good grip on it, so I decided to put a stubby screwdriver in there, turn it to break it loose from the hose, and then pull it straight out. And voila! That's the piece that we want to replace. As you can see from this shot, both sides have broken off. And yeah, that guy's going in the trash. To get to the other tee, you do need to take off your engine cover. Don't forget to take off your oil filler cap, or else the engine cover will not come off. Replace the engine oil filler cap because you don't want anything falling in. Now for the second tee, I decided to do the bottom part first. That way I can pull it out of the hose a little bit easier. And don't forget to break the hoses loose with your hose grip pliers before trying to pull on them. It'll make your life a lot easier. Now for the other hose clamps. These guys were kind of annoying to get to because they were facing downward, and yeah, I just snapped that one. With the heater hose T broken in half, it's a lot easier to get to the hose clamps. You just bend the hose over and voila. Just like on the first one, now I have to remove the whole hose from the firewall. That way I can clean out the heater hose T without worrying about the bits and pieces going into the heater core. And there's the remains of the heater hose T. Make sure you clean that guy out. Now for the reinstall. I do recommend some type of silicone spray for all your rubber hose bits. This will make your life so much easier. And here are the brand new heater hose tees that I picked up from the dealer. They're roughly about $12 to $15 each, and I'll have the part numbers listed down below in the description. After a bit of silicone spray, I decided to do the left one first, then the right, then push the whole thing down into the bottom hose. Next, you want to reinstall your hose clamps. Make sure you put them back in the right place, not too far forward, not too far back. I usually like to put them right after the lip on the heater hose tee, and make sure that there is still a little bit of hose behind it. One down, one to go. Make sure you get the hose all the way back on. You'll notice I reinstalled all the factory hose clamps, even though they're a pain in the butt. I prefer these over the aftermarket worm style ones because those tend to cut into the hose. Ta-da! This is going to be your finished product. You see the new heater hose tees on there. The hose clamps are already installed. Should be good to go. Since we lost some coolant with the break of the heater hose tee and the install, we're going to have to fill that back up. The easiest way I found was to use this coolant filling funnel. You can fill the radiator completely and also bleed the entire cooling system. Since I only lost a little bit of coolant, I'm just going to add water to mine. Once you get this funnel filled up, you're going to see a few bubbles. This is exactly what you want. You want these bubbles to escape from the cooling system and not get trapped inside. Now with the funnel still attached, go ahead and turn on your car. Turn the heater up to full blast. If your Landcruiser came equipped with a rear heater, go to the back and turn that guy all the way up too. With the engine running, you'll see bubbles coming out of the funnel. You can rev the engine a little bit to help speed up the process. Give it a little time and let your Landcruiser warm all the way up. Your heater should be blowing really hot air by now. Since the funnel is still attached, there's no pressure in the cooling system. However, this is a good chance to check if there are any major leaks in the heater hose teeth. Sometimes if you forget to put a hose clamp on or something like that, this is where you'd find it. Now that we've given your car enough time to warm up completely, there should be no more air bubbles coming out into the funnel. Use the plug that came with the funnel to plug off the funnel before removing it. This will avoid any major spills. Next, replace the radiator cap. While you're here, double check the overflow tank and make sure that thing is full too. Now, with the engine off, remove the oil filler cap and replace the engine cover. Put the oil filler cap back on and you're done. And that's it. Now all you gotta do is test drive the car around for a little bit. Keep an eye on the temperature gauge. Make sure the temperature does not get hot or above what it normally is. And then once the car completely cools down, usually overnight, I would open the radiator cap and double check that the fluid is topped off. Make sure the overflow bottle is topped off as well. And then you're good to go. So that wasn't too bad. Hopefully this video helped you out in one way or another. How did you do yours? Please leave a comment below on any tips or tricks that you might have used, or any shortcuts that might be useful. And as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe.